Welcome back. You're watching Daily India News Hour. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Some more stories. German pharmaceutical giant Bayer has long been dealing with lawsuits regarding a weed and pest killer that is rumored to cause cancer. Now, these lawsuits seem to be settled. Lars Holter is with DW and joins me from Berlin. Hi, Lars. Good to have you. What's that story all about?
Thanks for having me. Well, it is quite a story that started in 2018 when Bayer took over the US agricultural company Monsanto in a multi-billion-dollar deal. Bayer at the time was mostly known for pharmaceuticals like aspirin, but was also involved in chemicals in agriculture and seeds and related products. Monsanto, at the time a privately held company in the US, seemed like a good fit, even though right around the time of the takeover, troubles over Roundup first came up. Now, Roundup is a weed killer made and sold by Monsanto that many gardeners in the US used freely in professional landscaping as well as home gardening. Now, some of the people using the product were later diagnosed with cancer, some died from it, and pretty quickly, Bayer, now the owner of Monsanto, found itself at the back end of dozens of lawsuits, later hundreds, and in the end got sued 200,000 times.
Also, Lars, what was the basis for those lawsuits? Was Bayer culpable in those deaths?
That depends on what study you consult. There are plenty of studies out there that say there is no connection between using Roundup and developing cancer. However, some studies in the US found that there might be a link, and that was good enough for some US courts who have awarded plaintiffs large sums of money, turning that Monsanto takeover into an ultimate nightmare for the German company. Some of the judgments were over billions of dollars, and even though they got reduced by higher courts, Bayer has already spent around $10 billion to settle some cases, of course, with a sheer endless number still outstanding until now.
Also, Lars, what's the latest decision, and is this all really over for Bayer?
So this latest court decision says that Bayer can indeed settle all the outstanding lawsuits. The company will commit to payments of another $7 billion over the next 20 years. And no, this is still not entirely over. The US Supreme Court is still looking into it later this year. But for now, it looks like for Bayer, the Monsanto nightmare is coming to an end, and that the company will end up booking a $20-some billion loss on the entire chapter surrounding Roundup. Now, that is a lot of money, even for a company that's among the largest pharmaceutical players in the world. But no matter how big the payout, at least Bayer can kind of put this behind themselves and plan their future endeavors, knowing that with a high likelihood, at least, there are no more expensive surprises down the road. And that alone is good news for the company, and investors were excited about it as well, with Bayer shares up 7% yesterday when the news broke.
All right, Lars, we'll leave it at that. Thanks for your information on that.